I'm Evette Rawls, founder and creator of Teacher Coach Series and Dear New Teacher documentaries and films. I've been teaching for 24 years. This documentary was created to establish a sense of awareness of teacher styles, also to bring a sense of inspiration for new teachers that are discovering their teacher styles. It is said that dressing well is an act of rebellion. Rebellious of who? Rebellious of what? Rebellious of fashion? When I think of teacher styles, I think about the teachers that I had fond memories of. The way that they carried themselves, the way that they honored themselves, and the way that they dressed. I was inspired by their teaching styles, but I also was able to look at their teacher styles to become the teacher that I am today. It is true to say that every teacher has their own teaching style. And in that teaching style, the more you become comfortable with who you are, I believe that is shown in your teacher style.
So what makes a teacher outfit a teacher outfit? I am so curious because that is all I have been seeing on my FYP. I've seen so many teachers who are putting together their outfits from Amazon or Shein or whatever y'all want to call it, and I love it. Baby, they're gonna be ready for back to school, okay? But for the most part, I think it's the accessories that makes it a teacher's outfit. I think we are the only ones that can get away with like the fun stuff, like the earrings, the headbands, the bags. Like I know a teacher when I see one just based on what they're wearing. And the graphic tees with a skirt paired with some cute tennis shoes or some sandals, yeah, that's the teacher. And let's not forget the long flowy dresses, like the floral print. I know a teacher dress when I see it. The graphic tee, the skirts, the dresses, that's my go-to stuff. Like I love me a cute outfit, but I gotta be comfortable going to deal with these folks' kids. So where else are y'all getting all this stuff from? Let me know. I gotta get my wardrobe together.
In this documentary, we'll be highlighting teacher styles. Hashtag Teacher OOTD. Hashtag Teacher Outfits of the Day. Hashtag Teacher Style Inspo. Hashtag Teacher Outfits of the Week. Hashtag Teacher Styles. Hashtag Teacher Outfit of the Day. There's no incorrect or bad way of dressing as a teacher. Although society would tell us that the way that we dress is the way that we teach, I don't know that I agree with that. What I would say is the more confident you become as a person, the more whole you are from within, it presents itself on the outer appearance. What is your teacher style in one sentence?
Hi, my name is Taylor Ann Wesley. I am a 4th year 6th grade science and social studies teacher. I am super excited to be here today talking about my teacher style. My teacher style in one sentence, I would say, is a good vibe that exudes approachability, positivity, a genuine connection with my students, and a welcoming classroom environment. You get all of that off of my teacher style.
What up, what up, what up? I'm your man, Alec Virgil. Mr. Virgil, what they call me, or Alec, from the classroom to your reality. Listen, I'm from Wilson, North Carolina, born and raised 252. I got it tatted on me. I gotta let you know where I'm from, and that's out the gate. I graduated from high school, and I went to college, NC State University, and I did not know I wanted to become a teacher. I thought I wanted to go in the corporate world. And I ended up going to the corporate world for 2.5 days, y'all, 2.5 days. And then I got up out of there once I realized that sitting behind the desk and answering phone calls and making them all day long was not for me. So I became a substitute teacher, and now I'm going into my 8th year teaching. That's right, I'm on my Kobe years, my 8th year, and I teach social studies. My teaching style is stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready. That means I get my clothes ready the week before, or at least 1 or 2 days before, the night before. I don't like to wake up in the morning and have to figure out what I'm gonna wear. So stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
teacher style in one sentence, I would say my teacher style is a combination of colorful, magical rainbow queen meets Miss Frizzle and the Magic School Bus.
What up, y'all? My name is Professor Hubbard, aka known as the Trill Professor on Instagram. So you can check me out there. And for the last 10 years, I've been teaching 7th grade through 12th grade English at middle school and high schools. And I've also been teaching English 1301 and 1302.
In my journey as a teacher, I remember how I evolved in my teacher style, and it became by way of a situation that I had in the classroom. There was a time that I would wear jeans on Jean Friday, and some inappropriate situations took place. From that, I didn't look at the students and decide that it was a teacher-student issue. No, I looked within and I decided from that point on, I wanted to emulate the teachers that had such a great impact in my life. In this situation, I remember being called into HR and talked about how I wore jeans to school and how it was inappropriate. And in that moment, I could have taken a dark tone, but instead I chose to go within and say, how can I change what I wear every single day? And from there, my classic teacher style was developed. What has helped you develop your teacher style throughout your career?
What has helped me develop my teacher style throughout my teaching career? Just staying true to who I am, being authentic, being genuine, doing what feels right and what I would do on a day-to-day basis. Showing up as myself so that I can, give my students the courage and the empowerment to do the same. Not dimming myself, not changing who I am or how I show up, but just being able to be myself.
What has helped me is just being critical of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, always questioning to what extent does it mean, like, what does it mean when people say you don't look like a teacher? And so I've always worked to defy that, even when I'm out in public and I got on a white beater with all my tattoos out, and I'll just casually be talking to somebody and I'll say, well, actually, yeah, I'm a teacher. I educate the youth. And they'll say, well, man, you don't look like a teacher. And so anytime I've heard that, I've always thought like, man, we got to deconstruct what that means. We have to critically reflect on what it means to look like a teacher. And so that has that alone helped me reframe how I wanted to show up physically and in a fashion sense in the classroom.
What have you learned about yourself as you have embraced your teacher style?
So I have learned that confidence is certainly an inside job. I must wear what makes me feel good. If I like it, people should love it. I always say to my students and just people in general, like, you don't let people tell you what is cute. You tell people what is cute. If you have it on, if you like it, they should love it. And one of my favorite quotes that's just always floating around in my head is the one by Eleanor Roosevelt. Nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. And I truly believe nobody can really make you feel anything without your consent. So if you have it on and you're confident in it, your confidence will rub off on people. And I've also learned about myself is that I have more impact than I realize. As I am being influenced by people, people are being influenced by me. And I feel like people in general should just kind of think about that constantly. Like, you're constantly impacting people, whether you realize it or not. So that's what I've learned about myself a little bit as I've been exploring my teacher style over the years.
I've learned that the right places, the right people, where you're supposed to be and who you are supposed to meet and touch will accept you. The people who matter won't mind, and the people who mind won't matter. So I used to be afraid that I would have to kind of like alter the way I dress or change the amount of color I wear in an outfit in order to be a teacher. But I've come to realize that that's not true. And it actually has not only inspired my students, but it has also inspired multiple teachers and other educators who I have met and worked with throughout the years. So I've just come to realize that the place where you're supposed to be will accept your authentic self.
How has your teacher style affected or impacted your teaching styles?
Easy. That's easy. You know, when I developed the brand, the Trill Professor, I knew that I wanted to merge my trill rap, background, history, and culture with my academic, nerdy English self. And so, even down to the dark wire glasses, like the circular glasses, I wanted, I wanted my teacher style to embody that Trill Professor merge. I got these wiry glasses, but I'm covered in tattoos that are all rap and English lyrics on this side, right? And then I wanted my classroom to feel the same way. When my kids walked in, I wanted them to feel like little Trill Professors. I wanted them to feel like I could be myself. I could bring my blackness, my brownness, my culture in, right? But I can bring in my nerdy self as well, and those two can hold hands and skip down the yellow brick road together for sure. That's how I wanted it to feel. And so I think my style, how I show up, has impacted that greatly.
I've always been into fashion, right? I've always been known to wear, the baddest jerseys. Back in the day, we used to wear the NBA and the NFL jerseys all throughout the week. I've always tried to keep a fresh pair of shoes. And by fresh, I mean, when I did get a new pair of shoes, my mama would make me take them off when I got home if I wanted to go back outside. And I would even sit and clean my shoes. I still do, because I believe in stewardship. I believe in taking care of everything that I have. So over time, I remember when I got to college, I started saying within my first year that I wanted that kind of preppy look mixed with the street look, right? Because of where I grew up, I saw a lot of like street stuff. We used to wear the big 3X t-shirts, the big jeans, the hat and the do-rag. And I also was a fan of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So Carlton was really cool. He was a cool guy. He was a unique guy. Like me, I'm unique in my sense of style and the things that I do. But I wanted to mix that mixture of, uniqueness, kind of preppy school look, schoolboy, with that hood look, if you will. I wanted to take both of my cultures and blend them together into one.
What advice would you give a new teacher as they are embracing their own personal teaching style?
I would say to just be themselves, to be authentic. Here's my cat. My cat wants to give you guys advice too. I would say to new teachers is to just be yourself, be authentic, and to, as you build your teacher closet, your teacher style, try to buy clothes that you would wear outside of the classroom.
Do you. Just do you. Do you. You don't have to stick to the outfits that pop up when you say teacher fashion on Pinterest. You can do you and keep pushing up against those boundaries of what it means to look like a teacher. We don't all have to look the same, and we can break down and we can decontextualize and we can deconstruct those notions of normalcy of what it means to look like a teacher. In fact, I'm of the mind that the more we do that, the more that we have kids who don't see themselves as academics, who don't see themselves as readers, writers, they can start to see like, wait a minute, I see my teacher with a do-rag on. I see my teacher with a grill in. I see my teacher with a chain on. I got those things. I'm an academic too, and maybe, having a grill in is a little too far down the line for what's considered formal in our American culture. But the notion is still the same, that the more we break away from some of those status quos, we start to really get kids to feel like they're a part of that educational space. And don't get it twisted. Every Monday I still wear a suit. I still put on a tie. I'll still bust out with a bow tie. But Tuesday through Friday, I'm giving you a little flavor. I'm giving you a little funk with it.
I would say to think about what you want your appearance to say about you. When you put on what you put on in the morning to go to the school, what do you want your style to say about you? What energy do you want to give off? What vibe are you giving off? Because truly our energy introduces us before we even open our mouths. So what energy, what vibe do you want to give off from what you have put on in the morning? What do you want your style to say about you? More advice I would give would be it's okay to be influenced by other people, but you also want to stay authentic to yourself, because there's only one you and people will be influenced by you. So it's okay to see somebody and say, oh, like, I like that style. I'm going to try to this is like my vibe here, but you also want to mix their vibe with your vibe and shake it up and mix it up and create a whole new vibe. You just want to still be authentic to yourself. And you don't have to follow every trend that comes out and break the bank. But yeah, just explore and have fun with it. No stress. Teacher style should be fun.
In your opinion, what do you consider to be professional or inappropriate in the educational and teacher career?
I remember when Mr. McQueen, who was my role model, he was a role model to all of us in middle school. He taught social studies. And he would show up to school every single day with a necktie, a freshly ironed shirt, crispy, creases in the sleeves, and a pair of suspenders, dress slacks, and dress shoes. And that meant he meant business. We did not take Mr. McQueen lightly. He took it seriously coming to school and actually having prepared a full layout, a full outfit that you can't just wake up in the morning and throw it on if it's not already been prepared. Mr. McQueen, he's one of the reasons I became a teacher. I mean, he really taught us what it meant to be a positive role model. He was a positive image. It wasn't so much of what he said, it was more of how he carried himself and his actions. And so he inspired my fashion as well, because while I can wear something simple to work just like this, with the jeans on, t-shirt, little jewelry, I also can flip it right quick and put on the entire suit or just a button down with no tie and a blazer, which is nice and casual with a pair of jeans or slacks, depending on what the day is. And, that's been me. I want to always be able to separate, delineate that line of teacher and student. There has to be a line. I can't come to school every day looking like the kids look. Some days it's fine, but for the most part, especially in the first few weeks of school, I'm wearing a suit so the kids can delineate me easily as their teacher, as an authoritative figure. But I can also blend it with that street and preppy look, what they can directly relate to.
I feel as though this is a tough question. Professional, appropriate, I feel like has become a little bit of a gray area, or has it? I feel like we know what is professional, what is appropriate, as far as maybe length goes, tightness, logos. I feel like we know. I feel like it's important to express yourself through your style, but I think it's also important to teach time and place. And as educators, we're teaching our students curriculum, but we teach our students so many other things besides the curriculum. And I feel like fashion is one of them. Your students are watching you. So what do you want to teach your students about fashion, about style, about time and place in different settings, and what to wear, what's appropriate? What do you want to teach your students based on what they're taking in, what you have on? How do you want them to view you? So I can't sit here and say, here's what I think is appropriate. Here's the length, here's the color, here's the tightness of this. People have to have, their own style and express themselves. But I think it's very important to keep in mind that our students are watching us, all ages, from the youngest all the way up to seniors in high school. They're watching us in everything that we do, how we treat people, what we wear. So what do you want to teach students about style and fashion as far as different settings? This is an environment of learning, education. What do you want to teach them?
I would say it's easier for me to define inappropriate than it is for me to define appropriate. For inappropriate teacher style, I would say if you have any second thoughts about wearing it, don't wear it. It's just better to be safe than sorry. If you pick up an outfit and you're like, I'm not sure if this is appropriate for work, or I'm unsure, then don't wear it. But I feel like as long as you can still do your job on what you're wearing, as long as you're comfortable, as long as you're confident, as long as you're not wearing anything that can inhibit you from doing your job, or be harmful to your students or inappropriate for your students, then I think that it's okay to wear.
I spend a lot of time critiquing and writing against appropriateness and respectability politics. So I'm not going to cave into that in that way. But what I will tell you is that institutions are social spaces. They're a microcosm of the society around you. And so it's not foreign for societal notions of what it means to be appropriate to feed into schooling. And so what I will say is this: choose the right school. I'll say every campus, every district has their dress code policy. Figure out their dress code policy, figure out their professionalism policies, and see if those paradigms match yours, and go from there. Okay. Thank you for your time.
What does fashion mean to you?
When you use fashion properly, it can be your confidence boost, your way to express what you can't say, your calm, and in a lot of ways for me, it's been my superpower.
What advice I would give to a new teacher as they are discovering their teacher style? Be you. Understand that teaching is a profession. In that, be you. Show who you are. Whatever that is, allow yourself to shine without limits. Always remember that teaching is a profession that creates every other profession. And in that, shine bright like a diamond. Put that ish on.